Hi everybody, I'm the Idea Maker, and today I'm going to be doing my analysis video on Everybody Loves Raymond Season 1, Episode 3. Now, of course, this is going to be a little bit longer, especially there are several themes, but there's a couple of central themes that I really do want to go over, and it's really, really important that I do go over these ones because it's this one, you don't need to have this be translated into 2024, and this is a very, very interesting concept, the concept of forgiveness. Now, of course, us as people, we tend to not be able to forgive a lot of people, and that's a really, really tough thing to do. And having to forgive somebody is just this thing that it makes us really, really give into our pride and our emotion, and it's such a tough thing for us to even wanting to think about, or at least wanting to get into the topic of, because we want to forgive people, we do, but our ego and our pride, they get the better of us, and it's just really, really tough. And I want to be able to discuss about this. Without further ado, let's dive right into the first segment, which I'm going to get to, which I think this is going to be the major segment, which is about forgiveness. Now, the main thing about this episode that is basically how Marie could not forgive her sister Ida, which, of course, it's a very, very tough thing for us as people. I mean, it's a very, very tough thing because we as people, we really do not like to forgive, and that's pretty sad. And I'd rather be forgiving a person than having to just keep a grudge. And I think Ray was right. I mean, we wouldn't want to be like Gus and be buried or cremated and have all of these different grudges against people. We want to be able to forgive people, and that's a very, very tough thing to do. Forgiving people is something that we all need to be able to get to do. And I know that some of you guys might not have been raised in a Christian home like I have, but I do want to share some encouraging verses of it. Like, I have them up, for instance. So one thing that I would want to give to you guys would be, there's this one right here that I'm seeing, and I'm about to read to you guys, but I would like for you to take into consideration. This is the NLT version of Ephesians 4:32. So Ephesians 4:32 says, "Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God, through Christ, has forgiven you." Now, I like to use this verse in a way where I want to be able to use it to forgive other people. Okay, sure. Have people done some really mean things to me? Yeah. Have people done mean things to you? Pretty much, yes. But do we want to really keep that anger in? I sure wouldn't. I mean, anger destroys. Stress destroys. Anything that's negative can destroy. And in this episode, Marie's relationship with her sister Ida and Ida's relationship to her sister Marie got destroyed because of a wedding. Okay, sure, things could have worked out a little bit differently. Sure, they had some good roasts, okay? I'm going to admit it. They had some pretty good ones. But what's better is to forgive the person. I mean, us as people, we let our ego drive us to do the insane or to do what we think is the best thing that we can do. But the thing is that us as people, we also have a tendency to act before we think. The thing that I like to do is I like to try to stay as reasonable as possible and think before I act. Now, I really rather forgive people, even if it's something very small. Okay? And I think that's what we should do. Right now, we're in a time of grieving, we're in a time of hurting, we're in a time that we're uncertain about what the future holds for us. But I think with this, I think that we should be able to forgive. It's just something that we need to do. And the thing is that I really feel like it can destroy, like it really, really can. Not forgiving somebody and putting our pride in place, it destroys our morality and it destroys our common sense. And I'm saying this in respect because the thing is that I want for every single person who's watching this, I want for them, whether you are a Christian or whether you're not, or whether you're a different, or you have a different belief or culture or different religion that you believe in. I just want for you guys to understand that forgiveness is such a great feeling, and I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. I mean, for instance, there's been some people back in high school, they did wrong to me, and over the years, I was really, I actually, I'll admit, I was kind of a little bit bitter about it. I was afraid of them. I really didn't know what to do. And I told my family, and we kept our guard up. I kept my guard up, especially when I was at school. I didn't know if I was going to get bullied or if I was going to get harassed or if something was going to happen to me. And it was just something that was keeping me on this level of insecurity. But later on down the road, the older that I got, and when I went to college or the university, when I went into my college courses, I really decided to just forgive them, because even if I do see them, I don't have to be constrained to school. I didn't have to be constrained to old policies of like my old high school or my old middle school or any other school anymore. And now that I'm not constrained to school anymore, and that I'm working, I find myself forgiving people more, despite them acting the way that they do, that's going to hurt us, and doing these things that could definitely drive us up the wall. It's just sad, that us as people, we really like to keep our ego up there. We love to keep it inflated, and that's crazy to think. Let me read you this other verse that maybe, you might not agree with, but I agree with. Matthew 6:14, NLT, it says, "If you forgive those who sin against you, your heavenly Father will forgive you." Don't you think that maybe, even if you're not a Christian, don't you think that it feels good when you go and you forgive somebody? I mean, look at what Ray was trying to do, even when he didn't have a eulogy prepared, or he didn't have anything prepared because he didn't really want to do it. Ray just really doesn't want to do a lot of things. I mean, he has these issues about people. I mean, don't we all at times? We all have issues when it comes to people, and we have issues when it comes on even wanting to interact with people, just because we get hurt all the time. We feel like we're going to get judged. And of course, everybody can feel that way. It's not an uncommon thing, but at the same time, don't you just want to just let it go? Forget about it? Like, don't you just want to just give it all up? Like, give up all the hate, give up all the anger. I mean, it feels so good. It feels so good giving up the anger. It feels amazing. And, it's just something that you cannot fathom until you really, really have forgiven that person. Sure, you might have somebody that you're working with, whether it's at school or you're at work, and you can't seem to forgive them because that maybe they drive you up the wall. Maybe they're irresponsible. Maybe they procrastinate. Maybe there's so many things that could drive you crazy. But don't you think that maybe this is the time to go and just forgive them? It's the same thing with family. Is there a sibling or a parent or an uncle or aunt or grandparent that maybe you're not really wanting to forgive yet, just because that maybe they've said something to you, or they've hurt you, or they've done so many different things? I feel like those who they can be able to forgive people, I think that they have the biggest of hearts, and they have this beautiful open mind that was gifted to them. And that's the thing when it comes to forgiving somebody. In my opinion, it's such a good character development for us. And it really makes you feel like you've accomplished something. So, I think that when it comes to forgiveness, we need to really, really think about who we're going to forgive and how we're going to forgive people. And I'd rather be on the side of right, or I'd rather be on God's good side than having to be on this bad side. I would rather be forgiving the person or the people that have done wrong to me over the years than just having to keep this burden in me and not being able to sleep at night and just tossing and turning and feeling like everything has just gone to waste. I feel like even hatred can destroy your achievements. You can do one wrong thing and everything can go crashing down. And, sometimes we forget about that. And that's a very, very tough thing to do. And it even goes to this one here, Luke 6:37, where it says, "Do not judge others and you will not be judged. Do not condemn others or it will all come back against you. Forgive others and you will be forgiven." That is one of the best and most beautiful verses of the Bible that I've ever read, especially because it is so true. Sure, we get to judge others all the time, and it doesn't even matter what we're saying or what we're doing, and it doesn't even matter if we're taking it to the extreme by judging them because of how they look or who they are or what they like or what their preference is when it comes to religion or culture or gender or all these other different things. That's not up to us to judge. It really isn't. And, for me, it's up to God to judge us in the end. But, for everybody else, for those who don't believe in God, the way how I would put it too is you're the bigger person if you choose not to go and judge somebody just based on how they look. I would also say that you're a bigger person when it comes to wanting to get to forgive others and getting to not judge people. And Marie was judging Ida based off of the fact that that Ida stole her boyfriends, that she put her dolls in the weirdest of poses, read her diary and this and that, and not had all these different excuses. But I like to kind of think of it as like they're like, if you think about it in the terms of A Christmas Carol, when Jacob Marley or the ghost of Jacob Marley comes to Ebenezer Scrooge and Scrooge asks him, what are all these chains and boxes that are binding you down? And that, Jacob says, these are all the bad things and the greediness and all of the sins that I've done in my life when I was alive. And these are all the things that I let bring me down. Now, don't you ever feel like when you're not forgiving somebody and you're really mad at that person or those a group amount of people and you feel like it's weighing you down pretty bad? Well, actually, that's how it is in both the Christian and non-Christian lifestyle. Now, of course, I'm getting pretty religious here, according to some people, but I think it's important to see it on both ends, because with this, it's such a tough thing to discuss, because that there's a lot of people that cannot choose to forgive people, and I can understand from their point of view. I can't say that I don't. Sometimes I didn't want to forgive people, and it's a tough thing. We need to forgive people as much as we can, but it's a tough subject. It's a really, really tough subject. But once we do, it's just this freeing feeling that will never, ever let go. I'm telling you, forgiving somebody is going to put you on the path to a better lifestyle, to a better mental health, to your better thoughts. It's such a great, amazing feeling that I'm telling you, you will never, ever go back to not wanting to forgive somebody. It's so good. And it doesn't matter if people are still doing the same things that bother you over and over and over. It's better to just say, I forgive you for you doing wrong to me. I forgive you for still trying to be mean to me. I forgive you for you trying to destroy a part of me that is necessary. Just start thinking in that way. Start thinking, I forgive you despite your rudeness to me. I forgive you despite your intentions that you have toward me. I forgive you for whatever reason. Even if they're still going, just forgive people. And another thing too is forgive yourself. That's a big, big thing. The first thing in learning how to forgive others is to forgive yourself. First of all, I should have said that to start off with. But when you forgive yourself, it is amazing, okay? It is a freeing feeling of all the stupidities of the world and your past mistakes that have held you back. It is so endearing and so amazing to know that when you forgive yourself, that's a big, big step towards wanting to make a big, big change in your life. Maybe I'm reaching to somebody. Maybe this series will touch somebody's heart or at least inspire somebody, or maybe they're thinking God used him to try to get to me. Whatever your perspective is, whoever you believe in, whoever you worship, if you don't worship anyone at all, if you believe that it's the universe, if you believe it's God, if you believe it's anybody else, it's this thing that brought you here. Okay? Yeah, sure, you're subscribed, but think about it. forgiveness is the key to a lot of your happiness, okay? Forgiveness is amazing in every aspect of the word amazing. And forgiveness, if you think about it, forgiveness is the word give. And you know where you're giving when it comes to forgiveness? You're giving that person a second chance to mend a relationship, to mend this a relationship when it comes to a friend, a spouse, a partner, a family member, or even just an acquaintance who did something wrong to you, a teacher, a professor, a coworker, a colleague, or whoever, or a boss that you've had before or have now. It doesn't matter. The time is now to forgive people, because at one point you might not be here today or tomorrow, and it's going to be way too late for you. Sometimes you'll get that near-death experience and then you'll forgive somebody, or maybe you'll be given a second chance at life and you'll choose to forgive. But whether you get that second chance or whether you get a near-death experience, or you're living in the now, or you're about to die, or you're about to embark on a new chapter in your life, whether it's a new school, a new era, a new move from one place to another, a new job, a new college experience, a new high school, middle school, elementary, it doesn't matter what adventure you're going to encounter in life. Forgiveness is key to everything, okay? Because forgiveness has the word give in it. And what you're giving is that second chance of a relationship with somebody, especially with that relationship that you have with yourself. So think about that. Really think about it. And of course, I'm going to get to the next little thing. I'm going to get to the next few little different things, but that was the main goal that I wanted to get this message out. I wanted to get this important thing to out about. So I'm going to touch up a little bit really quickly on the Hitler joke. The Hitler running gag that was going on throughout this whole entire thing really quick. So let me go to the next segment really quick. So, okay, I know that people are going to be kind of a little bit on the fence with this one, and that they're going to be a little bit triggered by it. But of course, I mean, it was an unintentional thing that Ali did. Okay, yeah, of course, you can get that Holocaust or that World War II or the Hitler references throughout the thing, but I don't think that it was. I can see it as offensive. I can understand. I mean, laughing at it can be offensive, but I mean, look, let me put it to you like this. I'm gonna put it to you like this. I don't find Hitler as a great person. I find the Holocaust to be an ugly event that has happened in world history, and I find it one of the most disgusting things that have ever happened, because Jewish people have done a lot for this world, and you might not even realize it. But whether you've kept a close look at world history or biblical history or any other types of documents that you've seen that goes throughout Jewish history, it doesn't even matter, because Jewish people have contributed so much to this life. I mean, and I definitely agree with that. I can understand why people will laugh at it, but the thing is that it's a tough thing to judge about. Okay, again, some of these jokes might not land in 2024 or beyond. Okay, you just guys have to accept that. But sometimes it's these little things that you're just like in shock, like, oh my god, did this really happen? But you just have to remember, come on. The show was not intended to make fun of other people's race or culture or anything. The intention is not to do that. The intention is to mostly show these different family experiences. Okay, maybe it was tasteless. Okay, but for me, I mean, I was just surprised. I forgot all about that joke, and you saw that when I was shocked about it, I was just shocked at it, and I laughed because that's a laugh of, I cannot believe they did that. It's not something too offensive about, but I can understand where a lot of people will be offensive about. And if that triggered you, then I'm sorry that if it did trigger you for any other reason, but it's not really much of a joke to really be mad about, in my opinion. But this depends on the person. Okay, so from there, of course, the Hitler thing, it was tasteless, okay? But me laughing out of nervousness, like, oh, I cannot believe they did this, that's just how I reacted to it. So if it came out as something else, I'm sorry about that. But I do want to get that out of the way, just so that way to make sure about it. Now, Now, I mean, for funerals itself, it could be a very, very tough thing for a lot of people. And I'm glad that they also brought in a little bit of the realism to that some weird things could happen at funerals, which that was what was going on with here. There was a lot of feuds. There was a lot of different things that made things a little bit more difficult to grasp. But I mean, sadly, that's just how things are. But yeah, they turned the funeral into some crazy show because of the fight between Marie and Ida. But in the end, things worked out pretty good until it got messed up again. But without being said and done, I hope that you guys really did take some lessons out of this video, and I hope that you guys were blessed with this video. You guys were really inspired, and I cannot wait for season 1, episode 4 of Everybody Loves Raymond and get into it, and hopefully that we can get to have more discussions. If you guys have anything that you guys want to comment on, I would recommend you guys commenting what your opinions are in the comments below. And if you guys would like to keep watching these type of videos, then please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I am really, really excited on getting into more of these videos. If you guys want to follow me on any of my social medias, there is my Snapchat, my Instagram, my Twitter, aka my X profile, my Discord, and my Discord server. And I also got TikTok right up here. So if you guys want to go to any of those links, it'll be in the description below. And until next time, and without further ado, thank you guys for watching my video. God bless you guys, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.